Welcome back, everybody. Ash here with my co-caster Delta. This is our third game of the night. If you haven't been here before, this is the Galorants Training Grounds Entry Division group stages. So that's 8 teams, 2 groups, and the group stages of best of 1 and top 4 advance the playoffs next week. The teams we have today are sweeT and TGAM. They're playing on split, and we have sweeT attacking first.
Yeah, so our last map of the night for our first Galorants training grounds, and it's been a good night so far. I really like the new format that we've taken to. So watching the group stages today, and we get to have these girls kind of compete in a more formal tournament format.
Yeah, it's definitely a change from what we had before. I'm looking forward to how this all
Select your
pans out.
agent.
Most definitely. And Split, no less. Like, I feel like I haven't seen Split be played in several days. Seems to be like an insta ban lately.
Yeah. We have some pretty standard comps coming out. Actually, so double Sentinel on both sides and a Viper as well. And then the only differences are really the duelists and the breach. Definitely be interesting. I am surprised that sweeT went for the double Sentinel, like plus Viper on attack. So let's see how that goes.
You're right. Very solid comps overall. And again, I haven't seen Split that much lately, so I've kind of been missing the good old Jet Breach combo and the whole flash and dash thing. So I anticipate seeing them try that tonight. And yeah, like you said, double duelist on the side of TGAM. So hopefully going to see some aggressive plays out on their side. Looks like for the start, we will be having a full push from sweeT on the A side, but Renell will will deny that.
Yeah, a huge wall coming out A main, denying that fast push, and the nade coming out as well, just to slow it down a little bit.
Here.
We're gonna see a breach flash here, but another slow, so a lot of utils just being thrown pretty early.
Yeah, already a lot of utility, and we have rotates from 4 members of TGAM already, but with having a Sentinel or double Sentinel, you have Killjoy able to stay back on the B site, kind of anchoring things down, and you see so much utility being planted, so it's going to be a little bit difficult if anyone plans on getting through Garage anytime soon.
For sure. I also, like, I don't know, ever since the Viper buffs, I really feel like she plays a lot more like a Sentinel now rather than a controller, just because people are just so wary. We have the first kill coming out from Shoulder Popper on JoJo Chaotic. That's the first blood for this round. They've definitely taken a slower start to a pistol. And we have the Sage Wall coming out on B as well. It'll be a 4v5 if sweeT does decide to commit to this. They are going in alone. Unfortunately, all the utils stopping them. They are running out of time. A lot of damage going out. 2v4. It looks like, unfortunately, there won't be enough time to get the bomb down. First round going down to TGAM. They really used all that util to their advantage to stop that push. And they did. sweeT did take it quite slow on the attack there on pistol.
And just like you were saying, so sweeT did take quite a bit of time for that pistol. They were trying to feel things out. Looking like they were going to plant A. They were able to draw out quite a bit of util, but TGAM was just able to get a read on kind of all the noise that they were making, and so able to just respond in kind. And with that win, able to buy up the Spectres.
Yeah, we've got that force up going on from TGAM. A lot of damage coming out of this Raid's nade here. First blood being found on E-Girl Poggers by Dominique. And it looks like sweeT is electing to, you know, continue with that full push, pushing that Viper wall even, taking that full 50 damage initially and vulnerability. A lot of kills going down. It's 4v2, advantage for TGAM.
Last player standing.
You know, if they even just get, you know, maybe another gun out, and that's round 2 going to TGAM, you know, it was good for them to try and get some guns out of the way, but unfortunately didn't do as much damage as they probably hoped.
Yeah, unfortunately not. sweeT trying to be a little more aggressive this time around. They were able to push a bit onto site, but we see the benefits of this composition from TGAM. So we have the Sage, the Viper, and the Killjoy, and like you were just saying, Viper's like essentially a sentinel. So they were anchoring the A site and denying any entry on the part of sweeT. So if they continue to push out that utility and deny access to the site, this is going to be a rough map for sweeT.
Yeah, so, and it looks like TGM did elect to go for that bonus round, but sweeT didn't even completely full buy as a team. Some nanoswarms going out. Unfortunately, not getting... actually taking out one on Jojo Chaotic, and Mochi getting another. That's a double. There's... sweeT is crowded up in mid together at the moment. Flash coming out. Unfortunately, does team flash and hits E-Girl Poggers. Sleepy So falls. E-Girl Poggers does manage to get the refrag though. 2v2. Could be anybody's round still.
Last player standing.
E-Girl tries to go for a third. Unfortunately, does not get the frag. 1v1. However, Marbo is quite low.
I got the spike.
And I'm not sure she knows where the raise is coming
30 seconds
from.
left.
And Dominique does get that drop on her from heaven.
Oh, and able to get a free rifle off of that as well. So making it a very expensive round for sweeT. They were able to win that bonus, even though most of their members died, just making it a little bit even more painful for sweeT. And allowing TGAM to finally buy up to rifles, whereas sweeT's economy is a little bit rough, so they won't be doing a full buy.
Yeah, they're going for a light. We're seeing some pistols, some specters coming out here. We'll see. They look like they're going for a full main push. No one's lurking mid this time, actually, on their part. That raise coming out again.
No wall to receive them this time, but we do have 2 players waiting for them on the site.
Mochi finding another frag with her utility on Marbo. Finding a second, actually. Mochi Berry taking down her opposite Mochi. Spike manages to get planted. And it looks like E-Girl just was able to be peeked, but they do miss from screens. It's 3v2, and we're gonna see a res coming out here, bringing Shoulder Popper back into the game. E-Girl Poggers does go down to the Vandal by Shoulder Popper.
Last player standing.
Mochi Berry unfortunately taken down by Eric, and Shoulder Popper finding the last, and just in time for the defuse. Sorry, I think I said Shoulder Popper was res last round. That was wrong. I did mean to say somebody else.
Oh, all good. There's quite a bit happening that last round. It was a little bit chaotic, but yeah, sweeT was able to finally get onto site. There was only 2 members of TGAM waiting for them, so they had a little bit easier time. But again, with the Killjoy waiting for them, it did prove to be a little bit difficult. But they were able to get the plant down, able to get some kills. But again, another round going to TGAM for this next round. Though both sides will have rifles.
Yeah, it looks like sweeT is electing for more of a default play this round, which I like.
True.
They've definitely been like very crowded in their entries, which isn't always bad, but they have been getting funneled with that util, which has made it difficult.
So true.
A little bit of damage coming in both sides. But it does look like A has been left completely open as they've baited over a lot of rotations. E-Girl getting the first frag, taking down Brunel. And Sleepy Sove taking down Dominique in mid.
Yeah,
And we
sweeT
have-
has so much map control at this point.
Yeah, it's 5v2 now. And they aren't quite aware that other members of sweeT have lurked up
Player standing.
through
Spike
A.
planted.
Marbo does get the drop on Ericans. 1v5. Mochi's just trying to take down some guns now. Unfortunately, does get crossfired, and E-Girl Poggers takes her down for a round on the board for sweeT.
First round on the board for sweeT, and it was a great round. You said earlier they started out with a default approach, and that ended up working out in their favor. They were able to take up so much space on the A side, giving them a bit more confidence. They were able to get the picks that they needed and just essentially form a pinch into the B site and, you know, successfully win that last round. So hopefully they do continue to do that default approach to keep TGAM kind of guessing where they plan to plant.
Yeah, we see an interesting buy coming out from TGAM as well. I'm wondering if they're maybe trying to save for an op with that Ghost and Light Shield on Dominique. I'm not quite sure though.
Potentially. She's not close to her showstopper at the moment, but anticipate more ultimates coming out soon like this Vipers, but
Yeah, Viper's coming out on B just to take up space to deny that push a little bit. And we have that lurk up A ramp once again. Mochi does find one, but is quickly refragged by Marbo. 4v3. Still could be anybody's round though. Spike is a little bit late to A. So plant may be contested by the defenders.
but we have slow rotates coming out from TGAM, so sweeT will be able to get the plant down and get into post-plant positions, making it a little bit difficult for Shoulder Popper and Brunel to try to defuse. And we see all of this utility coming out. Definitely
Yeah, they're not
trying to
giving them
deny
any
the
space
site.
at all.
Oh yeah, and the cloud no less.
Really, really smart plays so far. Does Shoulder Popper manages to catch JoJo off guard, takes down the turret. They're pushing into screens together. They are running low on time though for that defuse, especially in a 3v2. Ked's caught off guard by E-Girl. Brunel gets the refrag, but is ultimately taken down by Marbo. And that's 2-4. Another point on the board for sweeT.
sweeT trying to bring it back. I like what I see. The default approach that you mentioned last time seems to be working for them. They are able to take so much map control in the early parts of the round, and you saw them have essentially complete control of A, giving them the confidence to be able to rotate the spike onto the site and plant with enough time. It looks like they will be trying that approach again, and this time they have even more ultimates available to help them, such as the lockdown, and so hopefully being able to use those ultimates to make a better advantage for them.
Yeah, we have some really great ults up on both sides. We have Lockdown and Res up on TGM, and we have Lockdown, Blade Storm, as well as Breach's ulti up on the attacking side. And they look like they're actually rotating away from A at this point.
But look how far they're pushed up onto B.
Your fault.
E-Girl with the opening pick.
Control.
Yeah, they've just been able to lurk up so well in a lot of areas, leaving as TGAM has been leaving their backs kind of unguarded these past few rounds. Looks like we're gonna have a resurrection coming out. Brunel does manage to get that frag on Jojo, and Mochi heading up to heaven manages to detain 2 players backside, but since the walled off heaven, it took them a lot longer to push out, and they weren't able to capitalize on that. 3v3 running slowly out of time. Marbo takes down another shoulder popper, takes down another as well on Mochikar. Brunel seems to be looking to save the Spectre with the 8 HP, and that's another round as they are getting closer and closer to tying it up. 4-3.
Oh, that actually looks like a DQ on the side of Brunel, so probably would have been best to save there anyway, but we will probably have to do a tack pause while she gets that settled. So sweeT able to bring it back, almost close to a tied game. I was a little worried when you start to see that momentum that TGAM had, like just straight up winning the first 4 rounds. You get a little worried, but sweeT was just adapting, and they found the approach that works for them. They're able to get onto the sites quite easily with, like what you said, TGAM hasn't really been watching their backs.
Yeah, the lurks have been really, really strong. You know, they default for information. One party makes a lot of noise at one site, and it draws those rotations really quickly away and just allows the other members of sweeT to take up so much space and even more info so that they can either rotate out or just get that huge flank off. And that's what's been winning them like these past 3 rounds. And I think it was smart for them to switch it up and do it on B instead of A. And I'm looking forward to see how like both teams continue to adapt to each other's play styles from here on out.
Yeah, exactly. So TGAM is going to have to figure out how to adapt to this. Like you said, just trying to be probably more mindful of the flanks, making sure not to pull those early rotates so that you allow sweeT to just have that map control that they've been doing so well for the last 3 rounds.
For sure. And it looks like Brunel did make it back. She has reconnected. Hopefully, fingers crossed, no other tech issues here on out.
Hopefully not. But we do see a deviation this time, so we praise them for their default approach, but this time they will be doing a full send on the A site.
That nade coming out again. A good bait to get that util out of the way, since they know that she does like to throw it every single time. And we have a huge breach ult coming out to help them take A site. They're trying to take down that Killjoy util that slows them a lot. Mochikar is first to fall in elbow. And sweeT is going for the plant.
Spike planted.
Snakebite slowing down Dominique from pushing through screens.
Welcome to my
And we got a 4v4 Viper's Pit coming out on the attacking side, you know, just to ensure that post plant. It's so terrifying to go through now.
Oh, so terrifying. It's just devastating.
And we've got a full 4-man push into the Viper's Pit. Frags going out everywhere. Mochiberry taking down 2. Sleepy Soft taking due for her own, tying it 4-4 for sweeT.
That was a beautiful round for sweeT. They were able to get control of the A site quite easily with that Rolling Thunder coming out. And once they were able to get on site, they used Viper's utility just beautifully to be able to deny any access onto the site, and then a Viper's Pit coming out no less to just add to the bit of confusion, and that leading us to a tied game. And TGAM things are starting to look rough for them at this point. we don't see we see quite a frazzled buy coming out on their half.
Yeah, definitely an interesting buy. Some forced, some decided to go for a light buy. And Mochikar was the first to fall on B site, negating all of that Killjoy util, as she is usually left on site by herself. Marbo finding another on shoulder popper.
Spike planted.
Spike is planted on B site with a rotation coming from mid on sweeT's part. However, will Dominiki manage to catch them off guard? Mochi Berry gets caught out with the wall, but completely baited by the wall. Dominiki does not check a mail and gets taken down by Jojo Chaotic. 2v4. Ericans does manage to find a kill. Heals up to full.
Last player standing.
But Marbo gets the last two as they just completely miss her on the side there. Another round on the board, sorry, for sweeT, bringing them back from an original 4-0.
Yeah, so sweeT finally in the lead, and Marbo that round doing great. That initial kill she got, able to essentially clear up the B site and getting a 3K no less. And yeah, TGAM, it's quite difficult for them to be able to hold these sites for the last few rounds.
We see that nade coming out once again. A little bit of damage off of Dominiki through the smoke there. And we have a wall coming out. Someone got pushed, but sweeT does not care. They're just gonna bust it down. You know, make some more space for themselves. We have almost a full rotation coming over to A with Killjoy holding her own in mid. You know, waiting for that lurk either up mid or through B.
Right.
Taking a little run. Here. We have lockdown coming out from Marbo. You know, clearing so much space. E-Girl manages to take down Dominiki as they funnel out of that Killjoy ult. Jojo gets the drop on shoulder popper. 3v5.
Spike planted.
A lot of util coming out. Defenders are getting slowed. We have Reyna ulting.
Last player standing.
Unfortunately, Vulnerable gets taken down by Sleepysoft. 1v5. Will Brunel elect to save, or will she go for a couple kills, you know, just to try and damage their eco a little bit?
Flawless.
Jojo Chaotic with the last kill takes another round. So, you know, they're really taking this momentum and pushing forward with it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Momentum's totally on the side of sweeT at this point. And TGM not being able to adapt to this newfound momentum, unfortunately. I would definitely like to see them try to work on their retakes a bit more. So it looks like when sweeT's doing their pushes, they're getting picked off, but while they're making the rotates, though, I'm also trying not to get picked off will help with the numbers during the retake.
For sure. sweeT's also in a really good place as far as their eco goes. You're seeing a bit more of a default play once again, and that Sage wall actually came out mid for the first time. Ericans gets a drop on E-Girl Poggers, picking up a Vandal for herself in place of the Spectre. And we've got Melissa sweeT, you know, leaning over towards mid. Probably waiting for that Sage wall to go down.
Sage wall is down, pushing through mid, but able to get the pick and only with a Killjoy on site.
Unfortunately, all of that Killjoy utility will be negated unless someone does decide to, you know, go play and beat Garage. We got the Sage wall coming out, slowing sweeT.
30 seconds left.
Some grenades are down after being used now. Ericans pushing Heaven, getting that frag on Jojo with that Vandal she picked up earlier. It's 2v4. Shoulder popper is here though. 2v2, just like that. And we've got a huge Rolling Thunder coming out. I'm surprised it wasn't saved, you know, for the bomb tap, but Sleepy Soft
Last
almost
player
catching one
standing.
off guard. Soldier Popper does take down Mochi Berry. Sleepy is unable to get that refrag. But you know,
One enemy remaining.
Oh,
manages to get two with a clutch.
Stay out of my way.
That spray control was beautiful. And another round on the board
Last
for
round
sweeT.
before the switch.
oh my goodness. Okay. I thought they had the swing on her and she was gonna go down, but Sleepy Sushi with that spray control, my goodness. Able to clutch it out for one more round and just extending this gap even further. And like you said last time, the economy sweetie looking quite comfy right now. And TGAM, another frazzled by, unfortunately, but hopefully they will be able to capitalize on the showstopper, kind of delaying this momentum and push that sweetie has been having, as well as the Viper's Pit.
sweeT's going for kind of what they did the first few rounds, pushing A main altogether. And we have a rotation coming through, but they are wary about those lurks. You can see them hovering around B, hovering around mid. Marbo with the first kill. And E-Girl does lose a few knives there. They don't quite connect, but they're taking them down nonetheless. It's 4v2. Mochi with the 2K, turning into 2v3. Eric Hands
Spike down A.
getting a frag for herself, taking Spike down.
Got the spike.
Spike still has not been planted, and they're going for a full rotation through CT over to B. Surely Eric Hands has heard them at this point,
30 seconds left.
and it looks like they
Yeah,
are rushing over.
Spike planted.
Yeah, just said lockdown, no thank you, and rotated to the B site. But they planted with just enough time for them to have a bit of an advantage while TGAM tries to rotate.
One enemy
Oh,
remaining.
For
Yeah,
sure.
let's check.
E-Girl finds that surprise frag off of Mochi
enemy
card.
remaining.
There, Eric Hands does manage to take down Sleepy Soap. It is 1v1, duelist versus duelist. Will she clutch it out? Time is ticking down, and she's got to move fast to take down E-Girl if she would like to get that defuse. She manages to get the pick. Does she have time? It's gonna be a close one, guys.
Oh, so close. No.
Unfortunately, just 0.5 of a second away, taking it 8-4, favoring sweeT. They
Switching
must be
sides.
feeling really good about themselves, considering they have a very defense-heavy team comp.
Oh, totally. And I'm sure the way that they won that last one got them feeling pretty good going into this next half. And like you said, the composition for sweeT is just quite strong at this point. I mean, we saw a little bit of it in the early round from TGAM, being able to anchor the sites with Killjoy, with Viper just denying access to this site, as well as using Sage's slows. So hopefully sweeT will be able to utilize that utility, but a little bit better.
For sure. E-Girl taking a little bit of damage, but managing to take down that boombot, you know, denying. They did get a little bit of info, but not quite as much as they probably would have liked. We've got paint shells going in as well. Not connecting. E-Girl with a frag on Dominiki through the Viper's wall. And they're looking really wary to come in through garage at this point. They're slowly peeking. They have an idea of where E-Girl is. And just bullets going out, trying to get some damage off their smoke.
Yeah, it's usually stalled out in garage. And we also have Jojo kind of like lurking mid, making it difficult for, or not Jojo, shoulder.
For sure. Sleepy Soft finds one, and Mochi Berry takes one of her own as well. It's 2v5. And it looks like Eric Hands and Brunel are looking to rotate off. But with Jojo, you know, hiding mid right there, they've got a lot of info about them going
30
through
seconds
sewers. And Sleepy and her are flanking as well as Um, TGAM pushes through A main. Marbo already on site, an elbow. Gets some damage off. Turns them vulnerable. Plant wasn't quite able to be stopped, but a very, very clean retake.
Yeah, it was a valiant attempt trying to do the rotate, but it's going to be difficult with a 5v2 situation. And sweeT able to win that pistol round and just stretching the gap even further, making it difficult for TGAM to come back. They were stalled out in garage, unfortunately, and not able to even get the picks that they needed to get the push. So hopefully next time they'll either be able to use some utility to get onto site or be able to rotate just a bit earlier.
What's interesting is we do see just pistols coming out on the defensive side. You know, they didn't feel the need to buy up. Meanwhile, being 5 rounds down, TGAM elected to go with a bit of a force. Boombot goes through mid, not quite finding any info, but wall is down, and so is one slow on the side of sweeT.
Right, and we do have a lurk coming out as well. Oops.
Jojo taking that opening pick on Ericans with just a classic. Dominique still lurking mid, trying to get some damage off with her utility. They're going back to playing it slow, resetting a little bit with the info that they have. Mochi manages to take down Jojo. Shoulder takes down one of her own as well. It's 4v2.
30 seconds left.
And it looks like they are pushing onto A. Not quite sure where the other players are at the moment, but they are... sweeT is rotating through CT safely.
We have the rotates coming, but it's going to be a bit difficult for them. They don't have much utility that would be useful to pushing on site.
Last player standing.
Unfortunately, caught in a reload, Bochi was unable to re-break her teammate, but takes down 2 with the ghost, healing herself. Will she go grab the Spectre? It is mollied off, but she manages to find another. 6 bullets. Time is running out.
Oh no, don't
Doesn't check her corner. Jojo, shoulder popper, almost missing that frag with that snake bite out, but manages to get her out anyways. And that's 5-9 for sweeT. Or, sorry, that's a point on the board.
Yep, for TGAM.
Yes.
Finally able to get a point for this half. And yeah, I was saying that she didn't have any utility to kind of push on the site, but who needs that when you're able to frag? Just unfortunately did not check that corner. I was kind of rooting for her to do like a 4K or something like that.
Looks like they're playing a slow default. Light buy on the side of TGAM, and a full rifle's coming out on sweeT's part.
Yeah, it looks like this will be a bit of a slow round with the default coming out. But we do have E-girls trying to take a peek, making sure to have a bit of control of garage.
See some util going out. There's the Viper with walls, forming a bit of a cross there. Mochi manages to find a wall bang on Sleepy So. Jojo does get the refrag though, 4v4. Brunel is getting the spike down on A, and her teammates are rushing over Dominique with that kill on Jojo Classic through ropes. 4v3. Could still be anybody's round though, depending on how this is played out. Slow coming out, Heaven. A lot of damage coming out. Ericans does manage to take down Marbo. Girl trying to dash away, but unfortunately caught in that slow. They are running out of time. And E-Girl she tries to push through, is met with a wall, and is running for her life now to save that Vandal.
Yeah, definitely important to save that round because unlike the last half, they are now in a bit of a pickle in terms of how much credits they have. TGAM trying to build things back up. So I do like this attack half that TGAM has been trying. They've been having a bit more I want to say a little bit more control with these defaults, and sweeT haven't been responding. But it's only 3 rounds in. See what continues to happen.
For sure. JoJo's pushed up already in mid, hiding with her smoke, you know, trying to get some intel. The Boombot does miss its mark, so Dominiki has no idea she's there. I'm excited to see if she does manage to get the drop on her.
Yeah, just making sure no one passes through mid because they have been having a bit of success with that.
I'm seeing Sage being played on A ramps here, taking a little bit of poke. Reyna Lear coming out. JoJo did manage to get that kill on Dominiki though, and shoulder popper with the refrag, taking down JoJo. 4v4. Wall coming out on ramps, with Mochi trying to help out mid a little bit. E-Girl does manage to get that kill on Ericans. Mochi checking ramps, finding out that they are
30 seconds left.
off. They are running out of time, so they do really need to commit to a site before they find that they have no time left to plant.
Yeah, but it looks like they are planning to rotate to B, but they're gonna have to get the jump and move on because there's only 10 seconds left.
Mochi Kara, though, doing a really good job baiting that rotation away from B, but unfortunately not quite enough time as there are just 2.5 seconds left on the clock and a whole 4 seconds is needed to get that spike down.
That was so close.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough way to lose a round. I feel like, you know, TGAM, their morale might not be great at the moment. And they really are wanting to make that comeback happen after, you know, kind of having the tables turned on them in the first half.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, again, it was just so close. It would have been a good attempt because they were able to hold off the rotates and plants, but, you know, just not with enough time.
So not quite finding any poker damage there. E-Girl is tagged a little bit. Viper Wall coming up, you know, just to keep her a little safer. Snakebite coming out as well from the attacking side. It looks like it's going to be a B split push through mid and garage this time. E-Girl manages to find one of her own on Erican's shoulder popper. Really low, but does get a kill on E-Girl. 4v3. Spike has yet to be planted, but we have the rotation already on B. Mochi Car trying to get a flank kill up in B heaven, but is taken down by Mochi Berry. 2v4. Rez not in action, unfortunately. Slow coming out ropes to, you know, just keep that peak at bay.
30 seconds left.
They're running out of time once again. They have to make a move, but you know, they can hear the splashes going through sewers. Dominiki does stay mid to get that pick on Mochi Berry. And Brunel is just held off by that snake bite. Just a little longer. Decides to push through it. Not checker corner. Goes down to JoJo Chaotic. That's Spike.
10 seconds left.
Will Dominiki go for a frag, or is she gonna elect to save? Looks like a save. Definitely the smarter choice.
Oh.
But unfortunately, she falls to a sleepy Soph, waiting in mid instead. Very nice try, though.
Yeah, that was a very nice try. And we're inching ever closer to map point. TGAM, they were able to get like 2 rounds in, but it feels like they're losing a bit of the momentum that they had. I like to see them being so close to the Viper's Pit, the showstopper, hopefully trying to get an orb, because those are the ultimates they need to be able to make space onto the site and take
For
map
sure.
control.
Mochi Cart is coming out with that lockdown, though, to push onto A site. It's created a lot of space, you know. Everyone's completely left side already. No detains coming out. They are slowed from pushing screens with that Viper's Cloud. Flash coming out, and elbow. Ericans does manage to find 2 of her own. 3v4. sweeT caught out with that breach flash. Gets taken down. And JoJo falls as well. 7-11, a round on the board for TGM. They're really feeling the heat, and they just don't want to let this go. And I'm really happy to see them still, you know, fighting for this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, trying to stay in the game. That lockdown was very helpful in helping them be able to just be able to win that last round, getting onto site, making the space they need. And with that last win, they're now in a good position with a Resurrect available and a Viper's Pit if needed as they pushed again onto the A site.
We see an Empress as well. But we are seeing a Viper's Pit on the defender's side coming out from JoJo Chaotic. You know, just taking A site, denying that, and we're seeing a full fast rotation out of A through mid. They will be met with the Sage Wall. Will they bust it down, or will they follow over to Garage?
They're busting through it.
They are busting through it. Mochi decayed, but does not get peeked by Mochi Berry. Manages to heal back up to full. They're looking to take a lot of space in B Heaven. Empress has come out on Ericans as well, created a lot of space on B site. And it's not even being contested by sweeT at the moment. E-Girl Poggers does manage to get a frag up in B Heaven. Very low at 8 HP even after the heal from her Sage. And that Viper's Pit did end up coming out from Shoulder Popper, and it could guarantee another round for them. E-Girl tries to get the drop. Ericans does manage to take her down. 2v4 into the Viper's Pit. sweeT goes, takes down one, does not manage to find another. JoJo is quite late, trying to take some guns out. A snake bite coming out as well. And she's gonna run for that save, you know, she has that full armor and the gun. It's just the smartest decision probably in this case.
Exactly. That is a good decision on her part, but it was a valiant retake attempt, but that Viper's Pit just causing just enough chaos for TGAM to get the picks that they needed. And that was an interesting approach from TGAM, just trying to change their tactics. So they made all of that noise on the A site, went through sewers attempting to kind of fake out sweeT, and looks like did the job.
For sure. And they've fully just pushed through that Viper's smoke right there. And we're ulted with that Rolling Thunder coming off of Breach. That definitely slowed their momentum a bit through A main. And we have an interesting half buy coming out from defenders. Sleepy Soap manages to get the pick, takes down Dominique. Probably will go for the gun and hopefully get a heal. We've got Stingers coming out. Mochi gets the drop on JoJo Chaotic. Bomb has still not been planted quite yet. Spike, sorry. And we have a res coming out as well, turning into 4v4. And a defender-sided lockdown coming out as well. sweeT Soap getting the drop there
One
on
enemy
2.
remaining.
1v3 with lockdown. Brunel does get detained in elbow, and a very, very clean retake on that save round by sweeT.
sweeT, and we are at match point. That was, you know, a bonus round nonetheless, but
Match
it was costly in terms of their ults. So we saw Rolling Thunder being popped early in the round, kind of like you said, stopping TGAM in their tracks, and from there things started to go downhill a little bit. We saw picks coming out, resurrections being done, and yeah, it looks like they were able to sweeT was able to come back from that round. But for this next one, everyone having a full set of rifles, and we do see kind of a split push between B Garage and mid.
For sure. And we've got an interesting Viper's Wall coming out in mid there for some interesting round. And the Sage Wall, I don't think quite met its mark. E-Girl does get that opening pick on Brunel. People are falling left and right. 4v3. 4v2 now, favoring
One enemy
defenders.
remaining.
Oh no.
And they close it out for the win.
Defenders win.
sweeT takes the game home.
Oh, that was a painful round to go. They weren't even allowed onto site. No.
It was
Just-
definitely a quick round to end it.
Yeah, just complete denial.
Yeah.
But
You know, I think,
congrats.
yes, congrats to sweeT. You know, I think I really would have liked to see a bit more coordination with the buys on the side of TGAM, especially on defenders, than the first half, just because I feel like a lot more rounds could have been won if they didn't like go for a half buy for like 3 rounds in a row. The eco just wasn't coordinated, and that definitely cost them a few rounds, but definitely a great try nonetheless from both sides.
Exactly. It was valiant effort from both. But congrats to sweeT for winning. And looks like we are done with our group stages for today. And again, the first group stages for the Galorants training rounds. And this was, again, the entry division. But if you want to catch more Galorant training grounds tournament, we have the group stages for the intermediate division tomorrow. And I believe that will be at 5:30 Pacific time. If you need more details on how the games are going, make sure you do !Discord and !Socials to stay engaged and stay informed on how things are shaking out. But I believe that's all for us tonight. So thank you so much for sticking around, and thank you to production for such a great event today.